Welcome, good morning. Obviously, morning after big Champions League night. Like yesterday, we said, seriously, night of football that we had not seen before on all levels of the volume of matches and rank course and then you may also the quality of games that we saw and how even some so-called big teams struggle to go through. But you do the knockout phases, you playoffs, automatic qualification, round of 16, quarterfinals. At that point, Ubia and Yobia, now it's a home and away kind of thing. And Ujawa, you'll be beaten. And I think that UEFA 4 have been able to meet the standards that they set for themselves. Of course, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe and turn on notification. Over here, we give you the best in terms of analysis. It's consistent, it's constant, it's always updating every time you're the best and you're the bro. And thank you very much for choosing how Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube and Nabibia and you find that you didn't come up because there are lots of things and you didn't come up also because last night a lot of things happened, a lot in the transfer window this year. John Duran and Victor Boniface, one of them went to Al Nassr. Now that has triggered a chain of results. I will tell you why until John Duran and Al Nassr looks as if said Villa will come to Chelsea. They will come to Chelsea without money, almost 80 million. And as Al Nassr for 80 for Brent and John Duran, and I believe that because of that, they will come to Chelsea. In fact, I've seen also other people in the UK who are talking to that respect, say Aston Villa will come to Chelsea and ask for certain things. Maybe Christopher and Cook and I said, Joao Felix, Emma Rifi, said Matthias Stella, and there were a lot of updates as we do. Of course, stick and stay with us. You will be unsubscribe to the channel now. Michelle, subscribe to the channel, not turn your notification turn and no. Make sure so we choose you all. Send about any content we are drop here, you are first to have it. And in the over 1.5 picks you choose, only 2 of them Leipzig match, and I think Young Boys match in the penna. I say, we're able to do 16 out of 18, and that is very, very huge. And sad said those 2 matches now I say AC Milan, we are going away to Dynamo Kiev. I expected it in one of those slips. AC Milan weren't in there, and of course, of course, Barca and Atalanta no winning, But of course, so we invested there. You know that sometimes these things happen. We'll go again today. In the description of the video, there is well research picks for the Europa League and so make sure say you stick and stay. No pick it code, Betway code, Michelle. Pick it up and then go and stick because on Sunday it was good. We didn't stick on Monday. On Tuesday there was no football. On Monday sticky. I'm very certain saying that it goes well. So don't use the worry of yesterday not to go for today. Go. You're sure saying that it's going to go on well for you. But it's time you need commodity in yesterday in the Champions League, certain teams needed to win and then win with good goal margin. And one of them was FC Real Madrid. Madrid echo away in the northern of France in Brest. And then they got a job done. Of course, Social match and killing Antoine Mbappe was really, really instrumental in how good he was. And he was very, very solid. Rodrigo Goes, what a game that guy had. And Ranamika said, if there is ever a conversation about a goal-scoring winger anywhere in the world, the name should be Rodrigo Goes. You see, I saw the statistics of how most wingers are dangerous in the box. Their progressive carries near dangerous. And Badi Bakola was up there. Noni Madueke was up there. Now these are all 2 guys that are dangerous. It's the final third decision in separating these guys from Rodrigo Goes. Goes' carries are not enormous. They're not consistent. They're not things that you see every time. But then the difference between why Noni Madueke more low, Badi Bakola more low as compared to Rodrigo Goes is that although he doesn't do the volume, and I've said several times here, in football, data should always be used in context of the eye test or what you see. If you use data alone in isolation, you can't make sense of it. How does the data affect or how does it relate to what you're seeing on the field of play or the output you're getting? It's really important. And that's exactly how Abrante FM Rodrigo Goes sets is on a different level when you're comparing him to all of those other wingers over there. For me, goal scoring wingers. And now Madrid Madrid had to stand up and do something. And Rodrigo Goes was really instrumental. After scoring this weekend, he did it again in there against Tima. Your friend started Brest away from home. He was instrumental in how they did their job. Brilliant display from our brand friend Rodrigo Goes. Madrid went into that game playing Orienchi Menimo, our centre back. They knew that they had to do something really huge and get a job done. And of course, they started with the experience of Luka Modric in the middle of the pack. And of course, it was very important for them. Luka, hugely instrumental. At some point in time, our brand friend Arda Güler came in there, and he also came to dictate the pace of the game in there. And I think that it was a very good game in there for Tima, your friend Real Madrid, and were able to go in and then qualify on a big night, winning by 3-0 via Abrantia, your friend Rodrigo Goes, Kylian Mbappe. Also, in the form not bar never, it's getting to the highest level, the best level that you can get from him. And now, Abrantia friend Luka Modric got a standing ovation for both the home and away fans now, and it tells you that's a very good display from Rodrigo Goes. And yesterday, for me, it was very important, but Jude Bellingham won the man of the match on the day. Really instrumental for them in terms of match control, the goals, the assists. Jude Bellingham is a top player, in that regard. Again, you can't take anything away from Abrantia, your friend Jude Bellingham. And yesterday was another huge testament of how good it can be. Of course, after every match, what it means is that the road to Munich 2025, Osha, there is a possibility Monaco beat either Brest or Benfica. PSG beat Brest or Benfica in the playoffs. Sporting CP beat Club Brugge or Dortmund. Atalanta Brugge or Dortmund. Celtic beat either Man City or Bayern. Real Madrid beat Man City or Tima, your friend Celtic. One of them, they can miss them final. The playoffs matches now, and it looks very clear. These matches can go on over there. And then it's official. Real Madrid gets Celtic or Man City in their playoffs. Second leg will be at the Bernabeu. Crazy. So after all the work Pep Guardiola and the Man City a year now, because yesterday they needed to win and win convincingly. By the time I near call half time, Man City were up by a goal to 0. And people began to ask questions, say, is it going to be another capitulation in the season for Team friend Manchester City? Because Club Brugge had gone 19 games unbeaten. They were always going to be a difficult side to play against. Was it going to be the same story for Manchester City? Or this time, something different was going to happen for Team friend Manchester City? What happened was that City came off the second half and then powered the heat on Team friend Club Brugge. And it's the City ever non-power the heat on you. You only can survive to a certain time. And of course, Mateo Kovacic take kind of money 1-1. There was a goal in there. And of course, City for no money 3-1. By the time I'm matching them, when City have qualified, but then they will not be excited. Especially with this form, but Madrid form not so the best, but City will not be excited. Say there is a likelihood, say Madrid be share Omo and Manchester City and as a Celtic or Madrid will love to at least get a Celtic. The first game at home, home, either of City or Celtic. Then the next one will be played at the Santiago Bernabeu. Madrid always love to have it at Santiago Bernabeu. And now, Arda Güler was really instrumental as well. Arda Güler, Rodrigo Goes, and our brand friend Kylian Mbappe are really instrumental players for Team your friend FC Real Madrid. After the game, beside Rodrigo about Manchester City, or see we could play City, they are always difficult. But at this stage, whoever we get is difficult, and that's very true. Anybody can be difficult, but at this stage here, will be very tough for you. Courtois was asked about Man City. I say, if it's them, it's them. We want to win the competition. We have to beat the best teams over there. We want top 8, but it didn't happen. We made it difficult. Now the focus is on the playoffs. The first leg of the UCL playoffs away will be 3 or 4 days after Madrid derby in La Liga. So we'll wait to see how that was going to go. Madrid will play Leganés in the Copa, Spanish Super Copa, Atletico de Madrid La Liga. Then they'll come and play in there against City or Celtic. And that's going to be somewhere in the 5th, 8th, and 11th of February. That's where those matches are going to go on Carlo Ancelotti. If we get City, it will be more difficult. Now we'll wait for the draw. Talking about the possibility of meeting Manchester City. Pep was asked about Real Madrid being, is it Real Madrid or Bayern? One is the king of the competition. The other one maybe the second or third of the competition. So it's a difficult one for us. And that's exactly what Josep Guardiola echoed about the possibility of meeting either Real Madrid and as a Bayern when it comes to matches now. I can say team and friend of Manchester City, our English Premier League. We'll wait to see how that one is going to go in that regard. And now, FC Barcelona also got a job done. 2-2. It means that they were second our Champions League, and their automatic qualification rounds, and they've gotten the job done. And now, the best player for the Barcelona game was a brand friend Lamine Yamal. An excellent display from Lamine. He was top in all ranks, and you give him a lot of credit for that. Lamine Yamal with a big performance as he took responsibility of every phase of play in build-up, second phase, progressive phase, and the final phase. Now, Lamine Yamal was really instrumental. Another assist from Rafinha, obviously. Ronald Araujo, no, he has a goal to be in there, and it was a good one, a relief for him. Much better second half from Barca. And again, so against Atalanta, or press man for man, or you're aggressive towards you, or Niama Sisia, you know that you need to be careful against them. And that's exactly what Tima, your friend of Barcelona, for 1 year. Very, very good, especially in the second half where they had to do a lot of rotations to evade Atalanta for man mark. That's exactly what they did. And of course, Barcelona were in second place in there. And what a good phase of play. I think that the positional rotations was very, very important for team and friend FC Barcelona. And then it was a very, very good one for them. It was a smart, good one for team and friend in Barcelona in terms of how good we were able to play. 28 goals in 8 games. No team scored more than Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League. Very, very, very potent attack for team and friend FC Barcelona. I think in their group phase, they were one of the best teams. Obviously, Omni Liverpool were spot on in everything that they were doing over there. And that's exactly why you see that Ushe Internazionale Milan, one of the teams, and now some of you Majuma simple level 6 to 4 goals in the hat-tricks, 3 red cards. Liverpool finished up. Man City survived. The final day of the late phase was wild and had everything. Of course, every time, there were 6 to 4 goals almost in every game. Final stage of the standard or the UEFA Champions League, and we'll have the conversation. 16 teams heading into the first ever UCL knockout playoffs. Atalanta, Milan, Juventus for team in Italy, Dortmund, Bayern, Real Madrid, PSV, Feyenoord, PSG, Monaco, Brest. When then you look at Benfica, Sporting, Celtic, Man City, Club Brugge, solid playoffs, and it's going to be really, really exciting for all of the teams in terms of what was going to happen. I love the fact that Lautaro Martinez made a very, very good display yesterday, and I think that he deserves all the good things that came to him. What are these clubs doing in the UCL playoffs? I know, right? I mean, on a regular day, you will not see Madrid, any other teams in the UCL playoffs, but there we have it. It's a UCL playoffs for Madrid, for Bayern, and for Manchester City. These are clubs that are perennial winners of the competition, but now it was made a little bit difficult, and there they are in terms of the enjoyment. We'll wait to see how all of those UCL conversations over there now. Which other team also, apart from Barca, apart from Real Madrid, apart from Bayern, also getting the job done and then qualifying over there. I think it was a really, really exciting final day. Atletico de Madrid got the job done as well. And I think that it was generally a good display from all of the teams over there. Now, right after the competition, in fact, as this competition was going on now, then the transfer conversation was in and around the corner. Now, Mamindin Komoni Incho. John Duran to Al Nassr is here we go. So when he was at Aston Villa for winning a match against Celtic. Now, after the win, Villa full coach, your friend Unai Emery, came out and said, only they say John Duran air cordial, then it means that it's okay, means I get some good money for him. Now, he as a coach there, he had discussed what he wanted to do. Did he want to go? Did he want to stay? Any signing money, man. And John Duran said Pesoko, and they are getting good money for him. So it's the good money that they are getting. That's source of respite for Abrantia friend John Duran. And Al Nassr for decided to go in for John Duran instead of Abrantia, their friend of Victor Boniface. And it's good money. Villa for be receiving 77 million euros fixed pay fees with add-ons accepted by Duran, medicals, normal bookie. And it's a here we go. Now, it meant that Abrantia, your friend, Victor Boniface wasn't going to go the other way to team up your friend FC Al Nassr, and he was going to stay in FC Bayern for Leverkusen. And it's been 29 days, and now we heard Sabrante friend Matthias Tel has changed his mind. Now, changing the mind now, after there is a bidding war for him. Matthias Tel say, for him as a player, or person constant. Nintia or Bayern or struggle. No, in fact, the reason why he wants to move is that or person walk into a team where he plays consistently or consistent football. Yes, he knows that teams like Chelsea want him, Chelsea have had conversation, but so about Chelsea he may not want to stay. And I'm at Chelsea and the first choice. That's the reason why Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur, and Manchester United have all come into the conversations for our brand friend Matthias Tel, especially for Tottenham Hotspur, because they have a lot of injuries on the team, and they believe that if they get a brand friend Matthias Tel, he can add a quality to them. And now, after the game against Bayern, what happened was that a brand friend the game against Slavan Bratislava, a brand friend Matthias Tel went and then said a goodbye to Bayern fans, shared his jersey with them, said thank you to them at the Allianz Arena for the very last time, because it looks as if he's going to move on from there. Now, what we are picking is that Chelsea have decided that they will go on a move to try and convince Abrantia, your friend Matthias Tel. They will go in there, have conversations with him, and then try to convince himself he needs to come to Chelsea because there's issues with Abrantia friend Mihailo Mudryk, and then the issue with Abrantia, your friend Jadon Sancho, who cannot get as much goals as Chelsea for would love to have it over there. Umbra Chelsea Football Club, maybe come up, saying maybe Chelsea can have him over there. And yesterday, the conversations kept on going in there. Everything kept on going up and down in terms of conversation about our brand friend Matthias Tel and he possibly going there to come to Chelsea Football Club. And Chelsea are very, very confident. Said they can do the job of convincing our brand friend Matthias Tel. And now, Chelsea Akache behind says Umberto Matthias Tel is going to be on a permanent basis. It's not going to be on a short-term basis. Permanent move is being assessed for Matthias Tel. Chelsea remain in talks since beginning of January, pushing for a permanent transfer. And of course, it was a very, very good one in there. We'll see how Chelsea goes into all of those things in terms of players now. Any Brentford friend Matthias Tel coming in to Chelsea Football Club over there. Matthias Tel could leave Bayern on loan or permanent transfer. It depends on proposals, the approaches, and the opportunity for the player. He wants guaranteed game time. So that is what Chelsea have to convince Abrantia, their friend Matthias Tel. They need to go and convince him for guaranteed game time, and then make sure everything is going to go on well. Convince him and let him with Chelsea. He wants to be an important player, not on the bench. Chelsea are not there for a loan. Chelsea are there to sign the player and to buy the player. Let's see if they are able to convince the player, Matthias Tel, and then convince him, and we'll wait to see how that's going to happen. Chelsea say they are not going to sign a goalkeeper in January. They believe, say, Philip Jorgensen and then Mike Penders, any Jorgi Petrovic, Iowa, or Strasbourg. No? These two goalkeepers are good enough for Chelsea to keep, and they make sure they compete with Robert Sanchez. So Chelsea are trying to say, Robert Sanchez ain't good enough there. Then they should go in and go and get a branch of friend Philip Jorgensen to get back into the post. And now, Chelsea boys now are back in training. Aaron and Selmino, any Abrantia, your friend Trevor Chalobah, all of them were training. There was Joshua Champon, there was Tyreek George, all of those players were going and they were training over there. In terms of coming in, Nicolas Jackson, anyways, James also went in there to go and train for themselves. Manchester United and Tottenham are among 7 clubs calling Matthias Tel in at least the last 24 hours over there. They are pushing to sign Matthias Tel. There are questions on whether he would ever return. He would ever return had it not been for Chelsea's desire to sell Conor Gallagher. With less than a year left on his contract, in a separate 34 move, Felix joined Atleti for 50 million, and that's exactly the conversation. After saying Aston Villa for Nato, Abrantia friend John Duran to go to Tima, your friend Al Nassr, they will need another attacker. They will search for an attacker, and that's why I think Aston Villa will bring money to Chelsea. They will ask for João Felix, and then they will most likely try and push for him to come in. It's something that we are seeing, obviously. So Abrantia friend Matthias Tel, they move to Chelsea Football Club. it's very, very clear. It's the Christopher Nkunku who sings, in the body language is that he wants to leave, but the noise are coming out of his camp is they are not sure he will get a move this window. Chelsea are asking for 65-75 million, which is huge. And Nkunku agents, I say they don't believe they are going to get a move for him over there. Enzo Fernandez is trying to reunite with his wife's, with his daughter's mother, his children's mother, after saying something very cool. So when it comes to an Argentine player, be episode moving to Enzo Fernandez ex-wife already. See Enzo Fernandez and then the wife Ejai on one teammates back who wants to move to his wife. I mean, already is never is well. So now Emery on Brantier friend John Johnson. I don't know if John is leaving, but if he is, it's good news for us because he is leaving because it's good money. It is for the club, the players and the team. I don't know if he will leave or not. Watkins is our striker, our number one striker. Talking about him. If you see in the last few hours, Arsenal for at the 65 million bid, Ekoma Aston Villa for Oli Watkins and a Villa for 110 it down. John Duran 21 and Al Nassr. Here we go, 77 million fee over there for our branch friend John Duran, and the Colombian has had an excellent night over there, going in there to go and have a good time with himself over there over the Saudi Pro League in the moon. And it was a very, very good one for our branch here, your friend John Duran over there. Wait to see how all of those ones are going to pan out in terms of transfer conversation, and wait to see how all of those conversations go on in terms of John Duran, Ejuma Oye, all of the other players. Matthias still, I doubt that Chelsea will sign a centre forward, and then any Ochina, no, the transfer window is closing. I doubt that Chelsea are going to sign any centre forward between today and tomorrow. I even doubt that Chelsea are not going to sign anybody else. Maybe at best it's going to be Matthias Tell, God willing, when it comes to by the close of tomorrow. Maybe they'll do that in the final bid over there. But it has been an excellent transfer conversation. An excellent transfer in there, and in terms of the conversation in and around the transfers, conversations in and around the Champions League playoffs, the qualifications, and all of the conversations. Now, it has been a good one. But like I said, guys, do not lose any form of hope in them. We'll have a conversation in terms of Europa League, and then we're putting the research odds down there. Go there and go and stick in the Europa League. Trust me. Most likely when people are down like this, that's when people win. So don't worry, I'm still in over there. And in terms of, I know said today there's going to be a win. Our Europa League, so stick and stay. You might be any come up. Need some cash over there. We'll wait to see how all of those ones now will turn out in terms of that conversations. Now we'll see how the conversation will go on over there. There's a big conversation in terms of transfers, in terms of Champions League. But I know that it was such an excellent night over there. I want to say a big thank you to all of you in the conversation in here for a good night of Champions League football. I mean, later in the day, we'll bring the Insura content, and then we'll bring one also in the evening, and then most likely maybe after Europa League, there's actually be about in the course of the day, if there is ever anything breaking from Chelsea and our clubs, we'll come here again. Thank you very much for choosing us on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Until then, do take care. See you. Bye-bye.